It's your girl, Lushy Lush, and we're live right now at Don's anniversary of him doing journalism, and we're here right now with the newly appointed Lieutenant Governor of Baltimore. And you're going to talk to the people and tell them, you know, your name?
Yes, I'm Boyd Rutherford, and I was elected Lieutenant Governor on November 4.
I know you were truly excited about that.
Yes, you know, it's an honor, and that's all I can say. It's an honor to be selected by the people of Maryland as Lieutenant Governor.
It comes with a lot of responsibility. What are some of the things that you feel that you want to change here in Baltimore?
Well, we have to change the business climate because we need to bring jobs back to Maryland, Baltimore in particular, but to the state of Maryland. We need to make the business climate more friendly so that we encourage entrepreneurship. We encourage development of our small businesses, small and minority businesses, and just put people back to work. And for the last several years, we've had an anti-business government, and we need to streamline the process to make it easier for folks to start and grow their businesses.
Definitely. Going into 2015, for entrepreneurs out there, what kind of advice would you give them?
Keep working, be patient with us. We're going to, give them the tools to make them successful. We've set up an environment so that they can be successful, but it's going to take a little bit of time. We didn't get to this point overnight. We lost over 8,000 jobs over the last 8 years, and we have to work to bring those jobs back. 8,000 businesses. 200,000 people are out of work. But we have to set the environment so that we can bring that work back.
And Doni, I know Doni has done a lot of stuff in regards to the community and giving back and stuff like that. If you could describe Doni, how would you?
Doni is the conscience of Baltimore, the conscience of the normal person, the everyday person in Baltimore, and he expresses it. He's the voice of the community. He lets elected officials know where the challenges are, and he challenges all of us to do the right thing.
Now, if people want to get more active in the community to help you guys out, how do they go about doing that?
Well, they can, if they want to be in the transition, which we're in the transition period, they can go to hogantransition.com and apply to be part of the transition, as well as apply for jobs if they're looking to serve in our administration. They can contact one of our volunteers. They can talk to Doni. Doni can get in touch with anybody.
Definitely. Doni knows every man. He is the go-to man.
Right.
So if people want to get in contact with you, how do they go about doing that, sir?
They can contact my body man who's here, or they can talk to Doni. Doni can always reach me.
Now, this is a question I want to ask you. If you weren't doing politics, what would you be doing?
I'd be probably what I was doing up until the election, which was practicing law and consulting. All right.
Outstanding. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Right now with your boy Frank Johnson. I mean, he does a whole bunch of different things, man, and he's out here supporting Doni. We're going to talk to him about what he got going on.
Just excited about our WPBnetworks.com, our media company, and all the great things that we're doing. Just kind of expanded the company into 3 radio stations, 1 TV show on My 24, and just continuing a lot of the works in the community with, the trying to uplift our people in our community and, just staying focused. Came out to support my good friend Doni.
Definitely. If you could describe Doni, how would you describe him?
Wow. Okay. In one word, I think he's a very humble, aggressive, motivated entrepreneur who's very inspired to uplift communities. And, that's probably why I'm here, because I'm really into that, and that's, something that's really dear to my heart. But an amazing person, although we all have our differences and our opinions, which he holds very strong to, and rightfully so, because there's a lot of things that are, could be a lot better in our communities, and, he's a fighter for a community. As well as he just gives back, man, and it's amazing just to, be in his presence and be a part of his everyday words of advice.
Definitely. He's a very big advocate. He definitely gives back to the community and brings a lot of knowledge to people, and things that people need to be aware of that's
Right.
going on in the community. And you've done a lot to give back, and especially in the music industry and and just the community in general. Are there any community activities that you're doing recently?
No, I think this year I kind of took a year off to pay a lot more attention to my company and the building of my company. And in addition to, in exchange for what we used to do, we've partnered with a lot of other organizations to give back. Because we feel the need to help uplift other entrepreneurs and other aspiring executives and motivators. So we decided to lend our strengths to other partners this year.
You've been in the industry for a long time, Frank, and you've seen a lot of things come and go. What's the difference between the Frank now and the Frank from back then?
The Frank from back then was trying to think of the word without discrediting myself. The Frank then was a bit of an asshole.
Okay.
For the last 2 years, I've tried to tone myself down. And when I'm going to explain that asshole part, but I've tried to tone myself down to fit in with other people's worlds. But I just realized that that's not me. It's not how I get things done. And, I've learned in business, especially from people like Leor Cohen and Kevin Lyles and Russell Simmons, from working under those type of people, that, it just takes a bit of mentality to achieve. And at some point, you can't settle for less. So when I said, 4 years ago, I used to be an asshole, what I mean by that is I used to be very aggressive and diligent in getting what I want and not taking no for an answer. And anybody that's in the way of trying to achieve greatness for not only myself but for others, I didn't see. So for the last 3 years, I kind of toned down, and it didn't serve well for me. So I realized that I have to be me, no matter what that is. I have to be me. It's the only way I get things done. It's the only way I can continue doing things in the community and uplifting my community is to get in there and kick ass and don't ask names.
You have to be aggressive in this industry in order to get what you can, because you can't wait on anybody. You got to go out there and get it. Now, for business entrepreneurs going into 2015, what kind of advice would you give them, Frank?
Step out on faith. Don't be afraid. Don't let anybody tell you no. And don't be a part of procrastination. In all due respect and all due reality, the only way you're going to achieve what you want is to go take what you want. And again, that brings me back to my new mentality of going into 2015 is, it's about winning. And that holds really dear to my heart, specifically because my long-term goal is to create a business so I can create jobs, so that I can give people jobs. And, no matter what the naysayers say or those people who decide to come in and try to be deceiving, I want to win because I want to win for the overall picture. And, I'm excited about that.
Okay. And tell us about the new companies and how we can check them out.
Well, WPBnetworks.com is the website that you can log on to. It houses all of our online radio properties as well as content from our TV show, which is Keeping It Real TV, broadcasted on My 24 Baltimore each and every Saturday at 12:30 at night to about 1.3 million people. You can log on to WPBnetworks.com. You can check out any of our platforms, our gospel inspirational platforms, our Hot 695, which I'm really excited about because the unique thing about Hot 695 is that station is designed and ran by the kids.
Wow.
So they are the program directors, they are the on-air talent, they are everything that as it relates to Hot 695, because I realize I'm not a One Direction fan, my daughters are, who are 12 and 14. So leave, young, youthful sounding stations to the youth.
Exactly.
Again, it's about empowering. So I just brought on Jazzy, who is Reggie Reg's daughter, who's going to be running the station for me. And I'm excited about just all of our properties. Make sure y'all log on to WPBradio.com and check out all of our great shows. We just brought on Raheem Devon, who has a radio show each and every Saturday at 7 p.m. Tracy Braxton has a show on our station, and a lot of great content, man. I'm excited about it. Not to mention, I got to plug my wife's station, my wife's show, which is Women's Talk Radio every Friday at 5.
Don't want to get that beat, darling.
That won't happen, but I want to make sure after all, she is the inspiration behind the station.
Shout out to the wifey. Salute to you. So, we're definitely proud of everything because I've definitely seen you grown in the business and doing a lot of things to impact the youth and people in the community. And, we just wish you nothing but prosperity going into 2015.
Okay. All right.
Definitely.
Well, congratulations to you on everything that you're doing as well.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Can we get a shout out, Frank?
Yep, sure can.
Lush Radio Online.
Rush Radio Online. Lush. We'll put some white highlights deeper around here. Lush. Hey, this is Frank Johnson, WPBNetworks.com. Keep it locked to lushradioonline.com.
Impresario. Did anybody get a dictionary and look it up? Nobody looked it up? Just looked at the root word, impress. Okay. Wanda Watts in the house. Did y'all see the former mayor, Sheila Dixon? Yes. Okay. Run again? Okay. Come on up here. Okay, I'm gonna ask her to stand up. This is one embarrassment. That's my daughter. Come on. Give her some love, y'all. Year-to-day governor, that's right. And she's gonna be lieutenant governor one day. And a mama, give it to a mama. I asked them to come here because, honestly, it's a team effort. We have some very famous people in the room, and I'm going to be real brief about this. Cynthia Gallimore, stand up for me. Cynthia and Dottie Hector, stand up. Come on. Now, y'all hear me doing the Black Wall Street series, right? We do the Black Wall Street series. This lady here, for all of y'all, I want you to hear this. She has the oldest black business in the world. Locks Furrow. It's right there on the wall. Which one?
The source, the sustainer of our lives. God, we give you praise. Father, in the mighty name of Jesus, as we gather in this setting on tonight, I pray, oh God, that you would bless every
voice of the community. Dottie's a good friend, and I had to come out to support him and support people in news. I appreciate everything that he does and what he does for the community, for the city of Baltimore and the people in Maryland. Really, you go beyond Baltimore, go beyond Maryland. As you know, and as Donnie mentioned, I'm Boyd Rutherford and Larry Hogan. Larry is a good friend of mine, now the governor-elect, now lieutenant governor-elect. We've been working on transition, what we call transition, creating a new government since November 4th. November 4th, or I should say the 5th, when everything was formally decided. And it just lets you know, there are people who came up to us probably 2-3 weeks or so before the election and said, hey, you got to start thinking about transition. And neither Larry and I wanted to do that because we were focused on winning. As we said, we didn't want to get ahead of anything by starting this process. And so we started the day after, the morning after, or early in the morning, just started thinking about putting the team together going forward. We had a press conference today where we had a big presentation on the budget. Unfortunately, and it's something that we all knew going in, that there was a problem with the budget. And it's a little worse, or I should say far worse, than what we anticipated. But we're going to get past it. That's what we were elected to do. And so we're going to bring back prosperity, bring back jobs and business. That's what we ran on. We ran on jobs, business and economic development and improving the life of struggling Maryland families. And that's what we set out to do. One of the big, and I was talking to Doc Cheatham, who was there in the white, we were talking about one of the issues. It's not just business that we're dealing with, but when I said struggling Marylanders, we have a problem in this state, many problems, but one of them in particular that we're going to be addressing early and looking for solutions is the heroin problem. You know, we've reached a point now that we have more folks dying from heroin overdoses than the murder rate. And the murder rate is terrible. But we have more people killing themselves with heroin, you know, not intentionally, but you know, with that drug. And there are a number of steps. It's not a law enforcement issue in terms of the users. And we have 3 steps. There's a prevention aspect, there's a treatment aspect, and then the final part is there is a law enforcement aspect to keep this stuff out of our communities. Mental health is another issue that we need to look into and increase the exposure in terms of taking away as much of the stigma, because a lot of folks that have drug problems have mental.
Being a young man born and bred from Baltimore City and knowing the challenges that we face, I look forward to working hard for each and every one of you. I just want to say I'm always a supporter of Bmore News. One of the things that me and Doni do, we disagree, we agree, but I think that I get the opportunity to educate myself. Doni being my elder, I think that he's seen a lot.
That was a crack. That was a crack. You ought to hear that.
Doni being my senior, I'll take the elder back. Look, y'all, Doni, a good friend. I just wanted to say I'm very thankful for the opportunity on a lot of different issues, and I just look forward to working with you guys, and I look forward to working alongside Delegate-elect Antonio Hayes and the next Lieutenant Governor, and just looking forward for the opportunity. Thank you all.
I'll be very, very brief. Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here tonight. Corey and I just left a 3-day bus tour. We traveled all over Maryland with 58 new members of the Maryland House of Delegates and then 11 new state senators. The average age of the incoming legislators is around about 30 years old. And so the opportunities are tremendous that's going to face the state of Maryland, and we look forward to working with the administration. And so I just wanted to stop.
I'm predicting that this lady will be mayor of Washington, D.C. Jennifer Hamilton, put your hands together.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jennifer Hamilton. I am in charge of senior programs for D.C. government. I've been doing it for 17 years. I am the youngest and the only African-American female state coordinator with senior games in all 50 states. I'm going to stay here, though. I want to thank him so much. We did, 2 events together? And ever since then, we've been, hooked to the hip. So I come out as far as here and anywhere else Doni is to support him. So I want to thank you guys for welcoming me. And thank you. And I'm also the VIP director of Maryland Fashion Week.
Okay. Come on, Charles. They call me senior. I gotta call somebody senior journalist. Come on, Charles. Who's your body? You got a bodyguard now? That's your son?
And I just want you to understand that the reason why I write for Doni is because sometimes my voice needs to be heard. At least I think it needs to be heard. And I hope you read it. And don't get me wrong, if you want to curse me out, please do. I can take it, I'm a big guy. If you love what I do, say, right on.
Right on, right on, right on.
And if you hear this on the radio, Doni, do I ever agree with you?
No, not a lot. But he is smart. He's very smart.
No, I'm not smart. I just want to make sure that people understand that we must have a discourse in our political dialogue, and sometimes we won't agree, but you know what? I'll let you have your say. Thank you very much for allowing me to be here.
His best article was on Marion Barry. Will Hobson, don't go to where Russell. Come here, Will, please. Will Hobson, you gotta know him, Ice Tech. They hosted Bmore News for the past 12 years, and I want you all to remember this. He thinks I forgot, I have never forgotten. 3 things. Hey, Joe Man, come on up here, Joe Man. From it, where do you go from here? Tell them what that means.
Make money and stuff like that. Reach out, bring another brother back, or sister, or whatever.
And that's what Donnie been doing, that's what I've been doing, and a lot of black business been doing, working together and stuff like that. So, Donnie, you've been good.
Hold tight before you go. Don't go away. They're going to give me an award. You can, just 3 minutes.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I think we all agree that our Donnie is a very, very special man. So let me Donald Donnie Morton Glover has been an advocate for his City Hall and even outside the country. Economic development of black communities all around the globe. He leaves no stone unturned. Through his multifaceted platform, Donnie has brought a unique and powerful sense of Afrocentrism to the world of journalism at every level. He has been publishing Bmore News since its inception, August 9th, 2002, covering news throughout the United States as well as internationally in locations like Tanzania, Ethiopia, Jamaica, Jordan, and even Canada. Today, Bmore News gets regular visitors from as many as 190 nations. No stranger to the world of radio, Donnie also Radio 1, Baltimore's WLOB 1010 AM, now in its 15th year. Glover and his team have also produced the Black Wall Street series since 2011, which has been featured in places like New York, the DMV, Atlanta, and it aims to celebrate black entrepreneurs and professionals, as well as the people who support them, regardless of race. With all of his accomplishments, laurels, but that's not the kind of man that Donnie is. His love for journalism and desire to bring hope and opportunities to communities of color around the globe will be his charge until he takes his last breath. It is my honor and my pleasure to present this award to our Donnie, commemorating 20 years. He does, I assure you, none can do better. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Doni Morton Glover.
Get it. Years.
20 years of journalism.
Okay. We're celebrating 20 years of journalism with Donnie Glover. He just received an award. He's the man of the hour. He's been doing so much to definitely support, the black community and just, empowering people in the community, whether it's politics, whether it's radio, whether it's anything that involves just getting knowledge. Donnie has done it. He's been all over the world, and I'm just proud to just be honored to know you, Donnie.
Me too. You're doing just fine.
Donnie is just doing so many things. He does the Black Wall Street Awards, and I actually was honored and humbled to be able to, she's beautiful. I was able to receive one from Donnie. Now, Donnie, just how do you feel right now?
I'm glad to see us, all people in this room. There's Indian people in here. There's a lot of black people. There's some white people. It's a whole lot of business owners, a lot of leaders in here. I'm grateful, and my daughter's here. I'm sure my son is here in spirit. He better be here in spirit. I feel wonderful. You got Ray Moore on the ones and twos. Is that how you say it? I always want to say that. On the ones and twos, Ray Moore. Got Chu Smith. Big Moore.
It's a lot of diversity here in this room tonight. A lot of people came from different walks of earth, from different states and different places to come here to celebrate Donnie and what he does for the community. So Donnie, now receiving this award, you've done a lot of things. What are some of the things that you look forward to in 2015?
Going to the bank. Going to several banks. Making handsome deposits. Getting on a plane. Getting on several planes.
Having his own private jet.
They like that. Private jet sounds nice. What you want, Nyende? She like trips to the bank, shopping.
I can't with him.
We're going to keep pushing the envelope. Marion Barry, Mayor for Life, our prayers.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace to the mayor for life. We want to do our part to push his legacy forward. Real talk.
Exactly.
He was about parlaying political power into economic benefit for the people. We want to continue Mayor for Life's mission. We want to do our part. I think it's Ronnie Law's every generation. Every generation has a mission. We want to push that envelope.
Definitely.
And we don't want to accept mediocrity. We don't want to accept crumbs. When you look at the political system, we want more for our community. $13 billion has come through the Maryland State Lottery since 1973. Yet, within 2 miles of this conversation, there's a school that barely has books.
Exactly.
Why? Where's the money? I always said to the politicians, steal all you want, but don't take from the children. And I found that some people have been taken from the children. And then they'll come around, oh, the lottery. And then they'll come, now we got slots. Well, we haven't seen what you're supposed to do with the lottery money, let alone the casino and the slots. Exactly. We're not impressed. We have books. We have schools with no books. That's a problem. And so in Baltimore City, a 9-1 Democratic town, we want to raise the question, where's the money?
And that's the question. Where is the money?
Because it's not in the school libraries.
Definitely. And I've actually been in the educational system, have seen schools that is just sitting there and they're just below the radar. And a lot of the richer schools are getting the books, but the ones that are below, accepting kids below the poverty level are not receiving all this funding. I don't know where the money's going, but that's the question. Where is the money?
Also, black businesses. One thing Marion Barry did, Mayor for Life, he made sure that blacks were a part of the equity deals, about the ownership deals, and made sure that blacks got jobs. Everybody from D.C. talks about the summer jobs.
Exactly.
Everybody had a summer job. Everybody had a summer job. We need to keep that going. And I better not remiss. Councilman, come on in. This is historic. This man is the new councilman for Baltimore
pleasure to
County.
meet you.
And
Fine.
Pleased to meet you. Well, what do you think we need to be pushing? We're going to continue to push businesses and
absolutely.
education?
Oh, absolutely. Education, economic development, and teach our kids that, the way to go is economic empowerment. That's where we need to go.
It's Councilman Julian
That's
Jones.
right, Julian Jones.
He ran a tenacious campaign.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
I knew he was going to win. As soon as he called me, I knew he was going to win.
I think you psychic about who's going to win most of the time.
He worked hard. His wife, I saw his whole family, they worked hard.
That's right.
And they put up signs. They put up signs everywhere. Even when some people tore their signs down, he went back and put up more signs. Tenacious on the sign game.
Councilman, I want to ask you, what are some of the basically advice for 2015 for entrepreneurs going into business?
Oh, aim high. Aim high. You know what? So many times I see entrepreneurs out there working and struggling and trying to make it happen. And then it's interesting how much money is there. Sometimes the thing that holds people back is themselves. James Brown said, I don't want anybody to give me nothing. Open the door, not get it myself. Well, my message to everyone is the door is open. Go get it.
Exactly. Yep. And I'm glad that you're doing so many amazing things and stuff. What do you feel is the number one thing that you're definitely going to push while you're now in office?
The main thing we're going to have to push big time is educating our kids, making sure they know all the opportunities that are available to them, and that it's important that they stay on the right path and on the right track. The fact of the matter is, in the African-American community, so many times our kids get caught up in the wrong thing. They're looking at the wrong people, they're idolizing the wrong people, they're emulating the wrong people, and it leads to nothing but destruction and incarceration. What I want to do is stress to our kids the opportunities that are available to them.
Exactly, education. Because if they're not learning, if they're not understanding what's going on, how can you accept them to actually move on forward to be progressive in life? Because they already have things against them in general. Being African American, and you definitely in Baltimore County, you have so many families that are below, the poverty level that are trying, and some of them can't get into the good schools.
I have a news flash for you. Okay. Here's a news flash.
Okay.
News flash. You heard it here first. We have folks in Baltimore County whose parents work very hard, good jobs, good income, The world is standing there waiting for their kids, and their kids want to emulate thugs, and they try to act like thugs.
Wow.
And they have everything going for them. I was born and raised in East Baltimore. I look at all the things that these kids have, and a lot of them don't want to do the right thing.
Yeah.
So we got to stress to them the importance of doing the right thing and how it can lead you to great places.
Definitely. I see a lot of mentorship and a lot of things going on now in Baltimore, and a lot of the stuff is building up property and everything like that. So I really do see a big hope for Baltimore and doing bigger and better things. You got a lot of good people in office now.
Absolutely. And we're here to support them.
Definitely. And can we get a shout out real quick to Lush Radio Online, Councilman?
Absolutely. Big ups to Lush Radio. Thanks for listening. Appreciate it.